Hi, I'm Kelly Hancock, and I had the wonderful experience of going on a YouGo ministry trip the 1st of June, and it was my first international mission trip.
Hey, I'm Jacob Pratt, and this was my first time going on a YouGo mission trip with my family.
My husband Paul wanted to go for many years, and I just pushed back. I just wasn't quite ready for it. And when the announcement came up this year to go on the mission trip, Paul looked at me and he said, "Well, is this the year? Are you ready?" And I said, "Absolutely."
A couple of years ago, me and my oldest two were looking at going on a mission trip. And because of COVID, we were unable to go. When the Mexico mission trip came about, me and my wife started talking about it, and she said that she wanted to go and thought it would be an excellent opportunity for all of us to get to go on a mission trip together. It was actually overwhelming to see how much there was to be done. When we got there was nothing but a slab of concrete and a pallet of wood.
I had never done any construction before, and honestly, I had never painted before. So I was wondering, how can I be used in building a home? So I decided the best place to start would be with painting, and the lady that we were building her home for, her name is Veronica. Veronica was painting as well. We had an interpreter there. I was able to talk to her while painting, and I began to build a relationship with her at that time.
To build a house in just a few days and make it livable, I mean, it was amazing just to see how quickly it came together, but it was also amazing just to see the relationships that were built through all the chaos, through all the working of everything. We're learning how to build a house, but yet we're building relationships all at the same time.
When we stood back on day one and saw 4 walls up and a roof going up, and I just sat there in awe. And I realized that when there is a purpose and when there's a plan and a group of people come together working towards that purpose and plan, God can do amazing things.
When we got done with the house, there was a key ceremony. Everybody got to speak to the family and talk about where they saw God move. My youngest daughter, who typically doesn't speak a whole lot in public, actually had quite a bit to say. And that's when I knew that God was just truly moving in all of my kids' lives. But then when we got to the family and actually hand the keys over to them, and just to see the tears in their eyes and the joy on their faces, it was just truly, truly inspirational.
I discovered that I needed to rely on God every moment, and I did have some fears, but as soon as I got into that moment of living with God, every fear that I had just completely washed away, because I knew that I was in His presence and I knew that I was relying on Him, and it was just a sweet time for me just to completely unplug and be in His presence and focusing in on what was going on each and every moment.
If you've never been on a mission trip, I would highly recommend it. It can be a scary thing, but I can assure you all of your fears will be laid to rest if you will just step out in faith. God will provide. I didn't know how I could afford to take my family of 5 on a mission trip overseas, but He provided. I didn't know how we were all going to get along. He was there every step of the way. God will provide, but all He asks is just to step out in faith, and He did. He showed up and just took care of us completely.
There's one word that really just resonates with me, and that's relationships. So many relationships were built with my Centerpoint church family, people I didn't even know, the YouGo ministry staff, building the relationship with the family for whom we built the home for.
We're still talking with them on a regular basis and are able to pray with them and still enjoy life with them, even though we're not with them right now.
It was such an honor to be able to go and be the hands and feet of Jesus.